Hello again. My name is Mark Holthe. I'm a Canadian immigration lawyer, an ex-immigration officer, and I am one of the founding partners of the law firm of Holthe Tillman, located in the beautiful province of Alberta, Canada. I'm also the founder of the Canadian Immigration Institute, and I host a weekly podcast called the Canadian Immigration Podcast. Well, this little video here is number 3 of 3. And in this video, I am going to share with you probably one of the second most common questions I get with respect to the Canadian express entry immigration process. So without further ado, let's dive into it. Here's the question. How do I establish proof of funds? And then, what documentation do I need to include if I don't have enough money in my bank account? So basically what's being asked here is, okay, what do I need to provide to show proof of funds? And let's say I don't have enough money. Maybe can I borrow it from family or something like that? So that's really what's going on here. So let's take a look and see. The first question to ask yourself is, are you even required to provide proof of settlement funds? The reality is, there are times when settlement funds are not required. And if you fit into one of these categories, these two here, then you don't need to worry about funds. If you are granted an invitation to apply under the Canadian Experience class, you're exempt. In like manner, if you have a job offer supported by an LMIA, you're also exempt. If you don't fit into one of these two categories, then yes, you need to provide settlement funds. So what does CIC, or now Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, really want? Well, they tell us that you must provide an official letter issued by the financial institution which you have your finances with. You must list all your bank and investment accounts, including account numbers, the dates each account was opened, balance in each account over the past 6 months. So what if you just get a cash injection from family? What do? Well, let's see what else that IRCC or CIC wants. You must list all outstanding debts such as credit cards and loans, and the letter must be printed on the letterhead of the financial institution and include your name, financial institution contact information such as address, telephone, and email. All right. So here's the funds. So you look at the list, you say, well, I'm married and I have 2 children. $22,603 in Canadian funds. Boy, I don't think I have that. I'm going to need to get some help from my family. Well, if that is the case, then you need to pay close attention to what I'm going to tell you next. So, can I get help from my family? Well, if you're receiving money from family, understand it must be an irrevocable gift, not a loan. And it has to be confirmed as being that. So if your bank account shows a large deposit, you better be able to explain where it came from. So if it was a gift from family or potentially the sale of a home or property you had in your home country, then make sure that you provide an explanation of where it came from, including the documents supporting the sale and the transfer of the funds. Well, if it's a gift from family, then you better have a statutory declaration confirming this. The contents of this statutory declaration I've set out here. It should include the date and the amount that the funds that were transferred, account numbers for you and the family member gifting the money to you. I would include reference numbers for the wire or other transfers. And most importantly, the statutory declaration must confirm by that giver, that family member who give the funds, that it is an irrevocable gift and not a loan. So if it looks like a loan, the government is not going to accept it. Okay, what are some other tips? You can use multiple accounts collectively to show sufficient funds, so it doesn't all have to be in one account. If you have sufficient funds in one account, well, then you don't need to provide details of all the other accounts. However, if all those other accounts carry all the debt that you have accumulated, and in actuality, after that debt has been paid off, you really don't have the resources, then that could cause you a problem. You cannot use property valuations. In many countries, property values are inflated, and what the property is actually going to sell for is drastically lower than what the valuation says the property is worth. So the funds must be unencumbered. In other words, you would need to sell that property and actually get the money in your hands and into your account. So it has to be unencumbered funds, and property is considered, I guess, cumbered. All right. And remember, you can't use borrowed funds, no loans. So there you have it. There's all I got for you. Good luck with this one. This one is going to be tricky. All right. At the conclusion of this, our third little video snippet, I guess, I want to share something with you that I alluded to in video number 1. And that is something that I am so excited about. It is awesome. It has taken me so long, so much pain and suffering to create, but I have finally finished it. The Express Entry step-by-step video guide. Now, some of you will have followed me earlier in the year and actually the end of last year where I was trying to create a course. Well, people didn't want a course, and you learn from your mistakes. I realized very quickly that people want all of the information now. They don't want to sit in a classroom kind of type setting and be guided slowly together with everybody else through a process. Some want to go super fast. Some want to take it slower. And so I decided I'm going to create this complete, it's a screencast of every aspect of the whole process, including me walking you through step by step this whole crazy Express Entry portal experience. And so this step-by-step guide in video 4, I am going to give you a sneak peek, an exclusive sneak peek into what it actually looks like, what you're going to get. But I can tell you that these video tutorials, there's over 40 of them. I've broken every little bit of this process down into bite-sized pieces because let's face it, some of you are single. Some of you don't need all the information on how to include supporting documents for your wife or how to fill out your husband's the electronic application for permanent residence forms. Or maybe you don't have children. Maybe you do. So I have broken down all of these little tiny pieces of the Express Entry process right from the very beginning of registering for your MyCIC account so that you can log into the government's website, all the way through to getting that confirmation of permanent residence in your hand with the instructions that say come to Canada and land and become a permanent resident. In addition to the complete walkthroughs that I've done, and I can tell you, they took me a long time to do. I have also created a number of other videos all around the various questions and problem areas that people run into. And I have created a resource bank of those. And of course, we have our very own private Facebook group called Express Entry Law. So I'm not going to give it all away. You're going to have to watch video number 4. But all I can say is it is awesome. And I am super excited. There is nothing like this out there. I don't think anyone would be crazy enough to spend the amount of time that I put into creating this. But it is literally as if you are sitting here in my desk, walking through the process of filing these many Express Entry applications. I literally walk you through what to put in every section. It is live. It is real. It is working right within the exact Express Entry system, right from the profile all the way to filing the electronic application for permanent residence. And everything is there. And so as people ask me questions, I complete a new video and put it into the resource bank. I try to be as active as I possibly can within the Facebook group, and it's a community. Welcome. I'm excited to have you join us. See you in video number 4.